the ginger, which is recently.
And before that, we saw him being blocked from going to Gulu municipality.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. My question is, before we look at who is losing out in all these shows, Bob Wine's concerts are noticed. That's what people should know.
Yes.
Yes. We have promoters, people who didn't know. A promoter can come up and say, Tush, you know what? I think people love you so much. You have a market out there. You have an audience. You're popular. So I'm going to host you, and then you come probably on New Year's. Okay. This is someone who is putting in the money, not the artist himself.
Yes, indeed.
Yes. So people should know that when we say events, sometimes they differ. It's not that every time an artist holds an event, it's for that artist who benefits from it.
Yes, indeed. And of course, do remember, dear viewers, that you can be part of this conversation on our social media networks. On Twitter, we are at S24 TV. On Facebook, it is at smart24 TV. And of course, you can follow me, myself, at Ronald Tush on Twitter, Ronald Tush Kamwea on Facebook.
And Jacqueline Arinda, Facebook, and then Twitter, that is Jackie Arinda.
Yes, now Jackie, getting back to the conversation we had started, I have been in the past to organize a number of events and concerts myself under Tush events. And one of the things I've noticed is, for big artists like Bobby Wine, Chameleon, Juliana Kanyomozi, Irene Namubiru, those are the big artists, by the way. Of course, the Winnie Nwajis,
Shiba,
the Shibas. Oh, Shiba, I forgot my favorite, Shiba. Yes. Now, for big artists like them, you will not be successful in organizing a concert that goes below a budget of 100 million Ugandan shillings. Now, this 100 million Ugandan shillings, not only the artists don't have this money, the reality is the entertainment industry of Uganda is poorly funded. So at some point, they don't have the money. To organize a successful concert, they will need different stakeholders to put together their wallets. You will have sponsors, you will have advertisers.
And swaps are included. By
yes, indeed, swaps.
Because most events we've seen, it's not about money. We have swaps that come in.
Yes,
I'll
indeed.
give you the stage, I'll give you this, I'll give you this.
Yes, indeed. Of course, with the swaps still in accounting, they are valued in financial terms. Because when the accountant of the concert is putting together the papers, they will say, we got a 20 million deal from smart24 TV. Now, you will see adverts running on smart24 TV for you to go to the concert. You may not know whether it was a swap deal or not, because for smart24 TV to give you advertising space, they have to value it financially.
Yeah, and
now,
I think usually it's because of the mileage that it will bring. The swaps, usually it's more into mileage. How do these companies benefit from the swaps?
Yes,
anyway,
indeed.
It's still money, right?
Yes, indeed. So we see that for the past 3 or 4 concerts that have been blocked, these promoters have lost a lot of money. Before we came on air, you were talking about a lady who has been crying ever since they blocked Bobby Wine from performing in Ginger.
Yes.
And she's just a drop in the ocean. We see different
stakeholders. When you look at people that are losing out, people who are crying, I'm sure their needs must be black by now, because we see from stage owners that, you know, you planned the stage people that stage and lighting.
Yes,
then
the sound.
Then we look at the promoters themselves who have the event themselves. And besides the promoters, at some events, usually the seats are provided.
Yes, indeed.
By another person.
But still valued in financial terms.
They are not actually, I mean their services.
Yes.
That means that they would have booked, because you've done events before, you book.
Yes,
And
indeed.
when you book, usually, I think it happens around the world where they say once you book and your event is not, it's not refundable.
Yes, indeed.
No one can refund.
Yes.
So that means that they lost money while they were doing the bookings. That includes the venue itself. That includes the venue, and that includes actually the police also, because we usually do this with the police.
Yes,
you can't hold an event,
security.
and then you pay.
Yes.
Are we clear? So we pay. So looking at all these people, not forgetting my people that give us chicken.
Yes, chicken. Even the Rolex people, you know, the funny thing is,
tell us about your Rolex before we go. How do you want it? Maji, abidi, role, chapate, mu.
Okay.
Leave that anyway. Yes, we have the Rolex people. That is the food and beverages, you know. But either way, a lot of people lose out.
Yes, indeed.
Actually, me, I don't think the artist loses out because the artist is already paid. But the artist has the role. It's his responsibility to push. Because why would an artist be stopped and you go back to your bed and sleep? The artist has to come out because it is his. I think I wouldn't say it is because of him, but partly when they stop an artist, like for example Bob Wine, it means the problem was Bob Wine or the problem was coming from the other side. So that's why people have been. I want to tell people that it's not by Bob Wine's making that, or if they stop an artist, I don't think it's the artist's making. So that's why we see Bob Wine is coming out and pushing and is asking why.
Yes, indeed. Now, let's first of all understand one thing. Initially, Robert Chagulanyi, famously known as Bobby Wine, was typically an entertainment service, you know, and he is a product worth selling out there in terms of entertainment. Now we see artist turned politician, but still desiring to double as an artist while he does his politics. Yes, and of course, from the corridors of power, they are saying, choose one thing. You either go political or go artist. And their reasoning is this, that what if within the concert, you rally people to go to strike against the government, to demonstrate against the government?
And
what if?
We've seen it before.
Yes.
We've seen it before where he gets on stage and then starts campaigning. But we don't want to go there. As SmartRise, let's look at how people are losing out and the benefits of having such concerts.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So, like I was saying, a lot of money is lost. If you have people, the vendors themselves will do a lot of shopping in preparation for a major concert. And the amount of shopping they make entirely depends upon the artists who will be on the list. Why? The artists are the crowd pullers. You will have, I will not mention names, the upcoming artists who, when they are called to a concert, they do not attract a huge population. They do not attract more than 1,000 people. Then you will find artists with big names, we've just been mentioning a few, who, if they are to go to Nambole, people, if let us say the concert begins at 10, by 10 p.m., by
midnight,
by midday, people are already lining up, you know, entering the stadium at Nambole, saying, you know what, we want to see our artists. But by the time the concert starts, you have about 12,000, 10,000 to even up to even 20,000.
You don't have to go far. I have an example for you. We recently had one of the artists who had a concert. I will mention the name, but it's not that I'm saying he's not a big artist. We had Fik Famaika who had a concert recently, and the turn-up was very low. Actually, people were saying, is it about the management or it's about Fik Famaika? I don't know where the problem came up from, but we well know that the concert flopped.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, so that is what I think you're trying to say. Artists who have a big turn-up and artists who really have to suffocate on stage. You know, getting on stage and there is no one to see you, only the chairs.
Indeed.
Empty chairs.
Indeed. I can imagine. You know, I've been an MC before where the people calling me to MC, I have poorly mobilized their team, and you stand on the stage and you feel like, should I get the microphone and go out where people are passing on the road and call them into the auditorium, call them into the conference center, call them into the seminar, or even the concert, because the mobilization is poor. But for mobilization to be successful, a lot of money needs to be injected in adverts, in flyers, in posters, in
social media.
Yes, even mentions. Even mentions. If
actually even bringing other artists on board.
Yes, indeed.
Because the reason why they were saying that the Fik Famaika's concert flopped, it's because it was a one-man's show.
Yes, indeed.
There were no curtain raisers, there were no other artists that would perform. So the other artists are also paid. So if other artists are also paid, how much money are we talking about? Because in most cases, we see big artists. You don't just call these normal artists, okay, upcoming, and
Yes.
you know, you call these big artists and they need fuel. If they don't ask you for fuel, they will ask you for accommodation. If they don't ask you for accommodation, well, you will have to pay. So this is a lot of money. But my concern now is about the promoters. Like, how do we expect promoters? Because promoters are the only people that we have that will promote music in Uganda. If promoters pull out, we have no music. We all know this. Yes, artists, you will say, I'll go to the studio and I have my manager. But at the end of the day, do you have the money to hold a concert worth 200 million?
Yes, indeed.
Because the swaps we were talking about, most companies actually, when you tell them that they will ask you, no, we are not on that level.
What is our mileage?
What is our mileage? How many people are you expecting? That is why they ask you for proposal and you write a proposal as if you're going to save the whole nation. But if promoters, this is a bit political, but I wouldn't love to go political, but if they tell you that don't do this, don't do it, and then bring reasons, no matter which reasons you bring, because we well know that things to do with the shows for Bob Wine, they had something up. I wouldn't
You're
love
afraid to say it.
I don't want to.
The reality is the Chagulanyi question is typically political. Because another person will ask, how many artists have been blocked from performing on concerts?
Oh yeah, let me bring it to you actually, because people think that it's only Bob Wine that has been blocked. Diamond was recently blocked. Actually, Diamond was not only blocked in his own country. Diamond was blocked even from performing abroad.
He was banned in Tanzania. The airwaves are not meant to play any of his music.
Even him, he cannot perform on any other platform, let it be in USA, UK, name it, Europe. Because they told him that he should not, he had a song, and this song, the country banned it. Like, they banned it and they were like, no, you cannot play this song because there was a lot of, I think, sexuality related content. So they banned it. Now, this was not political. So the reason why I'm bringing this tush is to tell you that sometimes the reasons are not political. And sometimes security reasons, they don't have to tell them, they don't have to tell the whole nation when they say such things. So the nation has rights to ban you, no matter how many people are benefiting from it. I was talking to producer Kaya when I was telling him that the people who manufacture bombs, would they also give us the same reason? And they tell us that, you see, we benefit from bombs, we sell them. So if you don't allow us to sell them, we are not earning?
Interesting question. Interesting question.
Tell me.
Interesting question. But of course, I will not attempt to answer it. I feel it's a bit beyond me for that case. But we are forgetting another key stakeholder in terms of finances. We have the Uganda Revenue Authority. For every concert that is conducted, the different stakeholders have to pay tax.
Sure.
Even the payment made to these artists, I'll give you an example. I'm cautious not to mention figures. Perhaps I could affect their bargaining power when they are negotiating to be paid. But when we are, let's say, contracting Eddie Away to perform at a show, part of the payment, let us say it is 10 million for him to attend for 5 hours at a dinner. Part of the payment has to be VAT taxed. You get it? Now, the moment you ban that, that means the government itself is losing millions of shillings, if not billions, if you put together the annual loss.
Look at you've done events before.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, when you book with the council, you also pay.
Yes,
the council, you pay. You cannot have a ridge going around and they will stop you and ask you, did you pay? And you have to bring a receipt. So the government either way earns from events. Because at events, that's where we spend money. Bakwitakusasanya, right? Yes, where does that money go? Because the booze, the beer and everything, the drinks and everything that people take from there. They tax it.
Let me engage you on this. What is the worst that could happen on such a concert?
Which concert to be specific?
I'm talking about the blocked concerts. And I made it clear that there is a big question of why only Chagulanyi? In Uganda, you might have brought the Diamond Platinum, but we are looking at now the question of Uganda. So what's the worst that could happen? What are these precautionary tendencies that the police say they are using to block him from performing in these concerts?
Well, like the way you couldn't differentiate the thin line that is between Honorable Robert Chagulanyi.
Oh, no, I can't differentiate.
You can, that thin line, because there is a
It
thin
is not
line.
thin. It is not thin. Entertainment and politics are two different things. The crowd you pull as an entertainer.
No, Tush. I asked, can you please let me understand this? The thin line between Honorable Robert Chagulanyi and Bob Wine.
One is an artist, one is a politician.
One is a politician and one is an artist. So when this artist is on stage, that's Bob Wine, right?
We assume he's supposed to be Bobby Wine.
You are assuming.
He is supposed to be Bobby Wine.
He is supposed. There is that one. He is supposed, but is not.
Okay, that is your statement.
That is my, yes. Because we've seen it several times where we see Bob Wine gets on stage, and once he's on stage, he becomes honorable.
Now that is the worst that could happen. You've answered my question.
Yes, and that is why I'm trying to break it down so that people understand that. Actually, I thought that some things have to be put out. I think tudemu tujikwate course.
So,
no, wait. So that when you become a member of parliament, there are some things that you should leave, so that your audience doesn't get confused. Because when you become a member of parliament and now you are campaigning, and it's like, say, I usually see ladies out there and it's like, I'm married. You get the whole point? I'm married, but I don't wear a ring. Okay? Then they date her and she's like, yes, I can also cheat. Then you ask her, but you said you're married.
Playing double standards.
Exactly. That is the same thing that is happening with Bob Wine. I think that is why the government, I actually think the government is stopping him because they think he might start Larry's like campaigns.
Yeah, and that's now the worst that could happen. Now, financially, should he start a rally within a concert, people will lose their property. Businesses will stop. At some point, businesses will be affected because...
Why are you not thinking about people's lives?
Because leave alone the lives. You know, issues of entertainment are funny. The moment you choose to go for such a concert, at some point, there are people going to leave behind and they're saying they went to have fun, let them have the full dose of what fun is. That's why at some point, security is meant to be there, and it is paid for. Unfortunately, in Uganda, it is paid for. Now, back to the point. Should they turn into a rowdy crowd, they will vandalize property. Okay, it is assumed, let me put back my statements. It is assumed that they will vandalize property belonging to shop owners. It is assumed that a lot of destroyed property will be expected to financially implicate the owners of the businesses. Many could lose their jobs, and at some point, even the money collected within the concert may disappear. Ooh,
sorry about that.
Interesting.
The good thing you had finished yours, so don't ask for mine.
Indeed. Now, back to the point. At some point, we keep asking ourselves, how much does the Uganda Revenue Authority lose when such a concert is blocked? Much as we are looking at the disadvantage of blocking a politician from performing at a concert, we also need to look at the advantage of blocking. Now, so we finished the advantage. Now, the disadvantage to the government itself is the Uganda Revenue Authority loses a lot of money.
A lot.
Because if the concert has a running budget of about 100 million, the biggest I've done has 92 million. Of that 92 million, if you put together all the nitty-gritties of taxation that are engaged, the government alone will lose lose about 20, not less than 20 million. You get it? Unfortunately, it will lose about not less than 20 million. Now, if they block these concerts in a succession of a whole year, they could lose almost $1 billion.
Okay. Well, look at it this way also. We are looking at these investors are from Uganda to begin with. That's the one thing that I want URA to also know, and the government. They are from Uganda. So that means the money is not taken out of the country. The circulation moves on. And then we have actually, one thing that I had forgotten to say is that this is a concert in Uganda.
Yes.
We are not taking it out. We are using the border guys, that the transport. Let's look at transport. I mean service providers. We look at transport. We had looked at the stage. Then let's look at, I don't know if other companies such as the media houses, they are paid, right?
Yes,
they are paid. Let's forget about the swaps. They are paid, media houses. And some of these media houses, that means they take a lot of money. Even the police takes a lot of money. Then we also have your Rolex guys. They take a lot of money.
My Rolex guys.
Yes, because you said you love Rolex. I was saying chicken, and then you said Rolex, so I have to involve them in the food. Now, the question that I would, if there was a third person here from the government, I would ask him, how did they look at it? Because we are expecting Ugandans to work. With such levels, I mean, if we keep blocking concerts, that means that there is someone down there going to nigiriza. Because concerts, I will emphasize, concerts benefit Ugandans. How? I expect a border guy to take me. I expect these like Uber, tax fine, mention it, to drop me there. Yes, classy with my heels on. I'm going to shop for a new dress. I'm going to shop for something good. So at the end of the day, we are losing out. You get the whole point? So everyone is involved from the head to the toe. As much as URA will say the government is the one that blocked us, but I also want URA to look at it. Me, I don't want to look at Bobi Wine. People were like, Bobi Wine has lost a lot of money. No, Bobi Wine is paid. It's actually part of I don't know if he will return back the money. He will refund to the promoters. But Bobi Wine is paid. He's an artist. But artists out there, they should also come out and raise a voice. I was seeing artists and promoters meeting the speaker yesterday. But I think we need to also get someone to tell us, actually to manage them. You know, if you don't table your concerns very well, people might trash them. I was looking at their argument, and they were like, abantu bafirwa. But at least you should have room where you need to be told why you are blocked. As much as you are politicizing, yes. So we should look at everything and not judge. Tush, I expect you to ask, why were we blocked? To understand, not to ask, so that you turn it against me.
Well, that is the nature of how we get most of our information. We prefer to politic it. That's why on Smart24, we commit to making everything business-wise, financial, if not economical. Otherwise, we are still running the Smart Ride Show here, specifically with the Smart Updates. And right now, let's have the fuel prices. We'll be right back with more after that. one thing I've noticed about media, when the viewers get to know that the team working hard to see that they get everything that it's supposed to be. So when we called for fuel prices, I know there is someone who had to push a button somewhere to see that those prices come together.
To move around.
Yes, indeed. We have our reporters in the field working tirelessly 24 hours, 7 days a week to see that this happens. Away from that, we have someone in our Uptown studio right now. Yvonne, I don't know whether you're able to get me right now. Yes, she gets me. Good. Now, let's have the news updates from Yvonne Injuna. And don't forget, you're still watching the Smart 24 show. So, Yvonne, take it over.
Thank you so much. Tush, a Merry Christmas, Uganda, and a prosperous New Year and happy holidays from S24 TV. A very good morning. We thank you for watching S24 TV, and these are the news updates. My name is Yvonne Injuna. Now, the government has said that Ugandans living in the diaspora are at liberty to get dual citizenship. According to the Internal Affairs spokesperson, Jacob Simunyu, Ugandans living in the countries that allow dual citizenship will be allowed to get certificates that enable them to travel as Ugandans. This is one of the services